So
it's live right now.
Should be, if you go to Facebook, it should be.
I mean, it says live in the corner.
It says live.
This is a good way. Yeah, we're all good. It's live. It's fantastic.
And of course, yeah, we'll do it live.
Yeah.
Bum.
The most exciting part of I think of this team talk is posting the links.
Because it's just utter chaos before we actually get things up and running.
Yeah, because it's live and then it's followed by, oh dear God, no.
Okay.
What? No.
Is it working? Is it working? If you click it, does it work? Oh, no. And the betrayal, it's really like a mini arc, actually, like just a little short story.
All right. And I'll also then sign into my phone.
Yay.
There's a thing I do want to talk about, but I don't think we should talk about it because...
Legal reasons? Your lawyer said not to?
I mean...
So many questions now.
Well, it involves a company and things that they've posted today. So, but I could possibly comment.
I may have been out of the loop then.
Oh, I think I am also out of the loop. So you're just all by yourself. It's like another betrayal in the beginning of the live stream. It's so good. It never stops.
Just never ends.
Never ends.
Geekcraft. Ken, your Twitter is
Craft, yes.
That's G-E-E-K.
No, my Twitter is M.
Huh?
Oh, I thought maybe you needed to know how to spell geek. I got concerned.
What's your Twitter?
What?
Ken's Twitter again.
Oh, I don't know.
M-O-O-K-E-N. Because I'm doing a thing. Okay.
Will it work?
No, that's not right. Work? That's Moira Kennedy. M-O or M-O?
Third betrayal.
M-O, as in demonstration, because I teach games.
Oh, God.
Proof that he doesn't, A, pay attention, and B, follow me on Twitter.
Proof that games, Twitter does not follow you.
This is the fourth betrayal now.
Oh, shut up.
This is like Game of Thrones level.
All right. It is the top of the hour, and we have humans actually watching. Wow. It's Wednesday. It's 7 o'clock in the UK. It's 2 o'clock on the east coast of the States. 11 o'clock in the morning on the west coast of the States. Yes. Sometime in the future in Australia. And it is Wednesday. It is Team Talk. I am, as ever, one of your cordial hosts. I was going to call myself the lovely Michael there, but being very sort of like self-promotional, I guess. So yeah, you can just call me Michael. You can also see Erin. Hi, Erin.
Hi. I'm the lovely Erin. I don't know about the rest of you.
With a new exciting background.
Yes, I know. I love it. Which way is this way?
Yeah.
Yes.
I forget because I go to look and I'm like, oh, I've been betrayed again.
And it's nice to have you here, even though I can hear you through the door because I didn't close it properly. And
way to go. Yeah, one job.
Well, it does mean the cats can come in and out as well. But we're also joined for about half the show, because Ken's got to go work. It's Ken from the wonderful Geekcraft and Punchboard Media. Thank you for joining us, man.
No problem.
This is like super last minute, like desperate times, desperate measures. Ken, save us.
This is how the world works and has worked since March. Let's be honest.
Work is a very strong word. We also have Rory in the chat, apparently, who says, hey, everyone, sorry, I can't make it tonight, but posting from the Hub Games account, making it sound like weird posting that, and this event is not happening.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah. So
Schrodinger's meeting?
Yeah, this is weirdness. Anyway, we're here, and we have survived Gen Con.
Yeah.
So celebrations to us all. That was a weird one, but
Yeah.
that's what we're here for. We're gonna sort of like dissect the show, like our experiences of the show. Shut up, Rory. This is so meta.
Don't listen to him, Rory. You do you.
So yeah, we're going to dissect the last weekend, the stuff that we got up to, the things that we saw, the stuff that we played. Spoiler for Erin and I, it was a lot of this and a lot of this. That was our whole weekend. But Ken, you come from a completely different point of view, which we will of course talk about. So, well, first of all, tell us about Geekcraft and tell us about Punchboard Media as a whole before we go into the Gen Con thing.
So Geekcraft is a site I run. I do board game reviews and Kickstarter previews and talk about board games and, you know, just all kinds of stuff about the hobby. I review games, but I also normally in the non, pandemic world, teach games at a couple local stores in the Cleveland, Ohio area. I have been helping people find games that kind of fit what they're looking for way too many years. But I really enjoy helping that or doing that because there's way too many games out there. And every game is for someone, but not every game is for you. And so I like to try and foster all right, here, try this. You might not like it, but try it. Because if you try it, then you can say, I liked this, but I didn't like that. And we can find other games you'll enjoy more. And it's, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games that, I work with muggles, as I'll lovingly refer to them. And they go, okay, you can't have that many board games. There aren't that many board games. And, people who know the hobby go, no, there are way too many. And so just kind of introduce them and helping people, who, if I'm at the game store, they'll come in and go, well, I'm looking for something that works really well for like me and my wife. Okay. What kind of games do you like? Find something that's good for 2 players. Oh, we're looking for something that plays 6. Okay. That's a different thing. So, but I do a lot of that. And people can reach out on Twitter to demo Ken and things like that. But it's all basically on geek-craft.com. But I am also one of the founding members for Punchboard Media. And what Punchboard Media is it's kind of, it's all of a whole bunch of little fish, little reviewers who kind of came together and said, we can bounce ideas off of each other because, Geekcraft is just me and it's hard to get outside ideas when it's just one person. So we have, Eric Buscemi from Cardboard Horde. We have the What Did You Play This Week podcast thing. We have, just tons of different reviewers, and we all post our stuff to Punchboard Media. We all bounce ideas off each other. We can share ideas. We can come together. We just posted or we will be posting very soon the next big list, which is where we review. We all come together and kind of give just a couple paragraphs about a number of games. And it's fun because, for example, I don't do party games. They're just not my thing. But I know other people, like Marty and Sarah of Open Seat Gaming, they really enjoy party games. So if you like party games and you go on my site, you're going to be like, yeah, there's nothing here. I go, great. But if you go to punchboardmedia.com, you can see everybody's reviews and you can find the people you kind of get in sync with and have similar tastes with and follow them and find out about more games that you might like.
I mean, it's been running a couple of years now.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, yeah, and you've brought together very sort of like disparate groups, disparate reviewers, and it's something that I personally appreciate because I can sort of like do I can contact one person and it sort of like spreads out to multiple folks, which is like super helpful.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of reviewers out there, a lot of review channels, whether they're video, whether they're written, whether they're podcast, anything else. Is there anything else? I don't know. But it's very, it makes a publisher's life easier to have that sort of like collective element kicking off, which is great. And to bring it into sort of like the Gen Con theme, you actually set up a fantastic thing for the weekend.
So we set up what we called the Punchboard Media Mixer, where we invited a bunch of different publishers during the Sunday of Gen Con and the Monday after to come on and basically talk to all of us. We set up a new Discord that we're going to keep running. And if publishers want to reach out, please reach out to Punchboard Media, reach out to me. Happy to help you find it, because this is something we want to use going forward, where we can have those discussions with publishers. Instead of it being an email into a void, you can actually have discussions with people who are interested, or have the conversations of, okay, well, here's the elevator pitch for this game, and you can get that reaction instead of it being just a blob of information and, okay, I'm going to send it out and hope that somebody actually reads it. It fosters that conversation.
Yeah, which I think is something that you don't get a lot from a sort of like from a publisher stroke reviewer sort of like relationship standpoint, I think.
We see each other at conventions.
We send emails and we see each other at conventions. We shout at each other, and
we're all very busy, and that's why we set up for the Sunday and Monday post Gen Con, because we were like, all right, your companies are going to have new releases. Companies are going to have breaking news. They're going to talk about this new game coming out or that new game coming out, and we figured, all right, this gives you the publishers time to sit down with the reviewers and talk about, okay, I have this game, it's on Tabletopia. I have this game, it's on Tabletop Simulator. I have this game and it's not even really out yet, but I can talk about it now. And it led just to a lot of really, really good conversations.
I mean, you had a lot of different companies on, which was great. Obviously, I got to speak to a few folks as well, and got to show off Tabletopia versions of Prismarina and Adventure Mart and some other new stuff, some spoilery things. But yeah, it was just really cool. But how long were you planning it for? How long, did it sort of like take to come together? Like, when did the idea first sort of explode?
The idea came from Chris Whitpan. And he works with Renegade Games. I don't know quite what inspired the idea, but he suggested it, and Eric Buscemi and I and a couple others kind of bounced the idea around. But we figured out, this is something that makes sense, because we don't have conventions this year. We don't get to see you. We don't get to, wave high as you're busy teaching a game and going horse on day one. This gave us time to actually, sit down with each other and have those conversations that we haven't been able to have this year. Planning wise, it's probably, I think the initial idea was like 6-8 weeks ago. And we really started, getting the Discord together and everything else and sending out emails and surveys and all those kinds of things. I want to say about a month ago, but right now time is an illusion. The weekend was a decade ago.
Yep. This past week has been a very long 3 years.
Yeah.
Then you just sort of like stare off into space, sadly, for a little while. So we should sort of like so each one of our Gen Cons was a bit different from the norm, I think. And Ken, as we've only got you for a short while, I promise people we will talk to Erin eventually, but she's always here pretty much. So what were like some high points for you from the weekend? Like what went well?
So for most of it, I didn't really have much in the way of planning to attend Gen Con online. And it's not because, it's online. It's because I was preparing for the mixer and I had other things going on. But last minute, I'm a member of Double Exposure Envoy, so the Envoy demo program. And they reached out and they said, hey, Bezier really needs a couple people to play Maglev during Gen Con. And I was like, well, I have interest in playing or trying Maglev Metro. So I emailed back and they're like, great, here's the 3 spots here. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it means I get to try the game a couple different times and try strategies and see how it really works. So they broadcast those plays and, I had a really good time with that aspect. But in talking with other folks who did more attending, I heard a lot of gripes around, you had to go to, like, if I was running an event, you had to come to my Discord. And then if Erin was running an event, you go to her Discord. And if Michael was running an event, you go to his Discord. And there was no central location to really kind of, part of the thing for conventions is seeing other people. This didn't happen because we weren't all in one area. It was, well, there's 3 people in that Discord, and there's 5 people in that Discord, and there's 3 people in this. We were all very chunked off.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying I necessarily know a better way to handle it, but I don't know that worked well.
Erin, over to you. What was your weekend like? Obviously, you had some extra fun stuff going on.
Yeah, for people who don't know, I managed to scratch my eye. So for the majority of my Gen Con demoing, I was actually like, yeah, that card, that's good. That one will let you do this. It's perfect. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Yeah, you're good. So, so that was a fun challenge for me. I got to the point where I was very good at being able to essentially explain the game with my eyes closed. So that's a good test.
One like going down the stairs and sort of like you're crouched on the floor outside the kitchen going, my eye, and just like holding, or like has it fallen out or something? And you're like, no, it's just like scratched. And like, so we eventually got you to get it checked out at the optometrist, which was good.
Yeah, no, and
But
everything
you were also like, I was so worried.
Well, I appreciate your worry, but we got through it. I'm a trooper.
I mean, most of it was down to, oh god, I'm going to have to run 22 demos on my own. But that was
good times.
We got through it.
I mean,
it
was less crazy than a traditional Gen Con.
In a weird way, yeah. Like nobody got plague and like got KO'd that way.
Yep.
So it was good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it like Ken said, it had its own challenges. But any event is going to have its own sort of like its own difficulties.
Yeah.
I mean, high points for me is the fact that people actually came to our games and signed up for them and played them, which was like really, really, really gratifying. Adventure Mart has just hit stores in the States and in the UK. So it's like it's new, but I think it was also pretty good because a lot of reviewers have got their copies already. Ken, yours coming soon. And a lot of people were talking about it like in the lead up to Gen Con weekend, which was good. Which, I think made people interested in finding out, are people going to be able to play it, at the weekend? And hey, we had a whole bunch of events.
Right.
I think in the week before, I actually had to add like 4 extra Adventure Mart plays because people, the others were all sold out. So
good.
That was really cool. And so, same with Prismarina, people were interested in trying it out. And I think as we go on and we're going to be doing more virtual cons over the coming weeks and months. I mean, so we've got Virtually Expo, which is like the UK Games Expo online version in like 2-3 weeks time. We're going to be doing like a similar bunch of stuff there. So it's going to be a time. It's going to be a time. So yeah,
real quick, just for Erin. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you mentioned, Ken, there was gripes and
some grumblings, yes.
Gripes and grumblings, and I am inclined to agree with the lack of centralization. I think is the thing that mainly caused issues. I think for the weekend. We there was no. I mean, there was a Gen Con Discord. I mean, I'm actually looking at the Gen Con Discord.
Right, but it wasn't
channel now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there was a whole bunch of people talking on it and everything, but actually going to play stuff, was very, very difficult to do. Yeah. We were informed like early, way before the actual event was going to kick off. We were informed that they'd be like looking for group channels so people could just sort of like jump on and go, hey, we're running this event. We need like another player or another 2 players or whatever. But that just didn't seem to pop, I guess. Which was kind of that was kind of a poop. But positive from the Discord is that there were so many sort of like, there were a lot of people on there who were all talking about stuff. It seemed to be pretty good and friendly and
I didn't hear
well moderated, which was cool.
Any kind of issues like that. The issue was getting the technology to play right and really utilizing Discord to do what they needed it to do.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that. Well, let's talk a bit about the technology then, because for us, it was a weekend of Discord and Tabletopia.
Yep.
And lots of late night cups of tea and things like that, just to sort of like keep my brain going. Erin, did you have any sort of like any massive issues, or did you think things went okay?
I mean, I found for the most part it went pretty smoothly. On day one, I had people who were coming in who were unfamiliar with how to use like Discord or Tabletopia, but because I've used Discord for years now, and Tabletopia with everything going on, I've just had to get good at using. It was pretty simple to kind of talk people through it. Be like, oh, if you're running into this issue, try checking your settings and see if it's this. Right. Oh, do you have it on your phone? Can you, or any of those other things. And then the other issue I would run into, weirdly enough, is that because some publishers were using Tabletopia and some were using Tabletop Simulator, people would be trying to hit keys for like the Tabletop Simulator, only to find it's not working. I hit 1 and it just keeps moving my camera, and it's like, it's not going to draw one card for you. I don't know what to tell you.
That was a big thing that I had to deal with, and a bunch of the other Punchboard folks, because we were dealing with different publishers who have their implementation of different systems. Spacebar on one is look at the card. Spacebar on the other is recenter the camera. Very different things.
Very different. Yeah. So I found when I first started running a demo, like instead of being like, oh, these are the rules, it's like, let's go over some basic controls. If you use the WASD keys, you'll move around. And I had like a whole little just spiel just to go over it. I'd be like, and don't forget, the take action is not the draw action. It's a trap. Don't do it.
How many times did we deal the entire deck of cards out to?
I only had one person do
that. Go on, Erin. You first. You.
I was going to say they dealt out everything. Everyone had everything.
I know we made the active decision to use just Tabletopia, despite the fact that all of our games were on Tabletop Simulator already, because obviously Tabletop Simulator is a thing that you have to purchase, whereas Tabletopia just runs in browser, so anybody could use it, which was, we want it to be as sort of like accessible and open to everybody as possible. I had a few techie issues, nothing massive, but I did end up sort of like on the Saturday keeping a tally of telling people how many times I had to ask them to refresh or push F5, just to sort of like, cards would disappear off the table and things like that.
I would love to know how much harder their servers were hit over the last week.
So Mark Harris from Tabletopia, he's been around. He's been talking about talking about stuff a lot, and he has sort of like said that they did get absolutely hammered, which is not surprising. I mean, there was that massive spike there was massive spike in like Tabletop Simulator and Tabletopia usage at the beginning of COVID, at the beginning of pandemic.
Right.
And I guarantee this weekend was another one where it went up and up and up. Yeah. But aside from a few sort of like very small issues, I think it was pretty stable.
Yeah.
Like we had a decent system set up, I think, Erin. We built our rooms early. You sent me the codes for your rooms. I took the codes for my rooms. That was one thing I want to say. The Gen Con messaging system was actually so good, so useful. Like I would get notifications popping in, sort of like when people were sending me messages going, like remember, Erin, you had an incorrect digit on one of your rooms, and it was just
yep, S and 5 are not the same.
Yeah, they're different things. But yeah, it was it came through immediately. Yes.
Cupcake says hello.
Hello.
Oh, it's so cute.
But yeah, it was great, and I'm really, really pleased that they instigated that for this year.
Yeah.
Because it made life so much easier for like organizing everything,
Yeah.
corralling people, getting them to the right places. I don't know how they could have done it better, if they could have done it better.
Right.
But we'll see.
While you're talking about that, because I know we mentioned it in the pre-show talk, so Gen Con used what they called the looking glass to replace their exhibitor hall. And I mean, I work in IT, and I'm a QA, which means usability and all those kinds of things are important to me. That is a thing.
Yeah, man. I think we have to say with a caveat, like obviously,
very last minute.
The whole thing was brought together very, very quickly.
Yeah, no, very much. But it was definitely that's how they're handling this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as publishers, we didn't know what this was going to look like until it went live.
Right.
Nobody knew what the looking glass was going to look like until it went live. We knew that it was going to be some sort of virtual representation of the show floor, kinda. Right. But what they delivered was interesting. Right? Yeah, Erin's not seen it, so
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Erin is about to look at it, and I would like you to, in a moment, Erin, just click on it and give me 3 words of your first reaction.
All right, I'm clicking now, and it's loading.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take time. Class. Yes. Oh, it's an airplane. Hello, airplane. Goodbye, airplane. Okay. I mean, that's oh.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have to zoom out. Oh.
Yeah.
And then I'd like
3 words?
Yeah, 3 words.
Choices were made.
There you go, 3 words. And now I'd like you to try and find, without using the search bar on the left-hand side.
Yeah. Oh, don't make me do this.
I would like you to try and find the Hub Games thing, because I know exactly where it is. Mercifully, they kept the things in the same place for the entire show, which is good.
It's okay. Mine keeps recentering to not where I can't drag it around.
Okay, I found it. But to be fair, it's because I scrolled right over it. So I found it. But I swear that was pure luck. I can't find any. Oh my. Yep. Choices were made. I think it's what I'm going to say. That's rough.
Yeah, and I see what they were going for, and
I do too.
I am kind of like the best thing about shows for I think all of us, aside from seeing the people who we know and who we love, is that wandering the floor and something. Browsing something wild and wonderful, catching your eye and going, oh, actually, that looks pretty cool. And that was just not possible with this setup. Yoss is still looking for the Hub Games one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm not going to say where it is. Good luck. I believe anybody.
Yeah, I gave up. I mean, I gave up using the looking glass within a few minutes.
Yeah, and
if you if you typo anything, like it just it was a thing. I know that Spiel Digital are doing something that's meant to be a lot more representative of a virtual show. Whether that's going to be sort of actual virtual booths or anything like that, I have no idea. But I'm hoping they actually let us sort of into it a little bit earlier so we can play around, we can experiment. They have released some videos and stuff already about what it's going to be. Ken, I realize it's coming up to a time where you have to run away, I'm afraid. So I want to say thank you very much for your time.
your joyous fleeting visit. We should get you on for a proper like chat about something at some point in the near future. But yeah, it's been lovely to have you, and I shall drop you an email very shortly about stuff and things.
Ooh, stuff and things. But yeah, like I said, it did. My big takeaway from Gen Con Online was, it didn't go to plan, and there were a number of hiccups, but it also meant that a lot of people were actively playing games and checking things out, and that's, at the end of the day, that's good.
Yes.
And they can learn from the lessons and hopefully adapt, and maybe Gen Can't next year is more of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because they now have the technology in place, and they have the Discord servers, they have the year of experience. Maybe it wasn't willingful, they didn't want to have to do this, but they did. So,
yeah, I'm hoping that it will. Obviously, I'm hoping that the show actually comes back next year. We actually get to do it. We get to do it live. Yeah. But I think having something like this running in parallel to it is. Yeah. It's the way of the future. It's a step forward.
I think it has to be. And I think it gives a lot more people opportunity to see the convention.
Yeah, agreed.
To see what it is. So.
Agreed. Yoss has found it, by the way. So congrats.
Yay, congrats.
All right, Ken, go to your meeting and we'll catch up with you soon.
And then couldn't find it. So, yeah. All right. Thank you.
See you later on.
See ya.
Well, just you and me, yo.
Oh, no.
Oh no! So yeah, that was lovingly referred to. The looking glass was referred to by certain people as the fart cloud. Which, looking at it in a wide point of view, I can kind of see why.
I mean, so here's the harsh reality of it. If you gave that job to me and said, "Aaron, make it look good," it would be a downloaded pictures from the internet, clip art, just cluster. Mess. It wouldn't be good. So like part of me is like, whoever did put it together, like they at least like they kind of knew what they were doing, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would have preferred just sorry, I'm sort of like staring off at it.
I'm staring. I can't look away. So I mean, there's that.
You gaze into the void, and the void gazes back at you.
It looked back at me.
It's part of me now. The fart cloud is part of me now. I honestly, I think it would have just been a little better if they'd just a list. A list would have probably just been all right.
I'm surprised that they didn't just make they didn't just take the Gen Con hall map and do something with that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been a thing as well. I mean, I guess another thing I would okay, why do we go to Gen Con? What is Gen Con about? Gen Con is about games. And
well, you go to it for any reason. You go to any kind of an expo, whether or not it's a farm or a toy or a firework one. Yeah, it's because you want to go, you want to be in person.
Yeah, but specifically, Gen Con is games. Whether that role-playing games, tabletop games, whatever. And I don't know any of the games that have been, I don't know any new releases that have been put out by, AEG or anything like that. I'm just clicking around. What's new from Ravensburger? It doesn't have anything. There's no sort of this was the thing I saw a lot going on the Discord over the weekend. There was a lot of people going, "Hey, what are the new game releases over the weekend? What's big? What's new?" Because there's the BGG hotness, which we're all freaking clamoring and fighting to get
on,
a mention on, and there's there's nothing here, and it would have been so helpful, I think, just sort of just having even if it was either a text list where you click on it and it brings you to the BGG page for the game, or even just box front covers. I guess that would be.
I mean, part of me wonders if it would have been better if the looking glass had been almost some kind of a slideshow or something. So that way it was constantly shifting and moving through things. But again, I say that not even understanding design, let alone being able to draw. So, I just want that on the record. I can say what all this sort of stuff I want to say, but I don't have that artistic skill to make that kind of vision work. All I know is I look into the void and it looked back at me and I didn't like it.
I want Winnie to look at this and just sort of like film her reaction. So Winnie is
her reaction. So don't send it. Okay.
Yeah. Winnie is our, of course, graphic designer who makes our games look absolutely beautiful and wonderful and lovely. Minimalist is kind of her vibe. I think that's probably the best way to describe the Winnie touch. Yeah, I don't know whether she just sort of like sit in the corner and start crying at this or
I think she'd just get angry. I bet like 1 pound that she just gets mad. It'd be a second of silence and then why?
Just like just
and then
running
rage.
around the place screaming. I mean, yeah, we've been sort of like digging on it a little bit, but I should probably sort of like say a few more of the positive things that you know from it. Actually, the people who did come and play all of the stuff with us were lovely. I had no problems with anybody. And you know, you do any convention, you know, there's always going to be like 1 or 2 people who are a little bit, but I think literally everybody who came to play stuff with us was genuinely quite sweet and lovely and accommodating.
Yeah.
It was tricky, you know, because look, you said it best, because we were not only just teaching the games, we were teaching people how to use Discord and how to use Tabletopia.
So and then teaching a game. So you were teaching 3 things. That's the difference. And
people were listening, they were receptive, and it was quite pleasant.
Yeah, it was really lovely. I didn't have a single person. Normally when I'm at a convention, it sounds horrible to say, but I usually have like 1 or 2 people that you're just like this close to throwing from your table. Because it's just a numbers game at that point. You demo so many games that you're going to run across 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. But this time, at least for me in all of my demos, everyone was lovely. I would have loved to have had them over for tea sometime. We could have like, you know, cupcakes or something. All more than welcome to hang out. I loved them all. They were fantastic.
It was actually quite nice over the course of the weekend. This little this micro community kind of sprung up.
Yeah,
like a bunch of folks who played Prismarina on the Friday morning, re-signed up to come back and play again on the Saturday, which was quite nice. And then they came and played. Like they, it also turned out that they had signed up to play Adventure Mart as well, and it was just sort of like, "Hey, I recognize you. You come back." There was this one sort of like. Point where this I can't remember the name of the player, like their username, but they played on the Thursday and I didn't see them at all on the Friday, but on the Saturday they were having some mad computer issues, so they would keep on jumping into my room like when I was demoing and sort of like being incredibly apologetic and saying, "Look, I'm really, really sorry. Can anybody hear me? It's like my microphone is not working properly, and I just want to make sure that people can hear me." And so I was like, "Yeah, you're fine, man. It's fine." Like, and like they came back like 2 or 3 times over the course of the day, just to like, everything's still broken. I don't know what's going on. It's like, well, you're working fine here. You're okay. You want to hang out? You need a cookie? Yeah, you're gonna sit down, relax, pat you on the head. Good stuff. Everything's fine. Everything is good.
Honestly, there's a part of me that's like, I would be willing, like in between demos, if we had a channel that was like just the chill hangout channel, I'd be in there.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I have a cup of tea. Do you guys have everything you need? Do you have soda? Do you have water? Have you been drinking?
That's it. Are you hydrating? It's still important, even if you're not walking the halls. I mean, and we keep on going back to it, that centralization thing. Like, yeah, we had people who were, you know, just chatting away in our Discord. We also had people chatting away in the Punchboard Media Discord. We had people chatting away in 19 different channels across the Gen Con Online Discord as well. And I think, yeah, if anybody's going to take one lesson from it, I think a little bit more direction, like just to sort of like channel people into the right bits and places would be absolutely lovely for the future.
That's true. There's a part of me that's like with this Looking Glass thing. I'm sorry, I know I keep harping on it, but if you clicked on it and it gave you like essentially a link to that publisher's Discord channel or something, so that way you could get to their booth. If that makes sense. That would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been good. Trying to think of other highlights as well. The BGG live stream was good. That went very, very smoothly, considering their setup was fantastic.
What did you like about their setup?
So they had hosts, like a range of hosts, and everybody was, of course, presenting from home. But they sent all of the demo copies of all the games, which we would normally just like bring to their booth and set up stuff there for the demo and the live stream. Copies were just sent to Lincoln and Nikki's place, two of the lovely folks at BGG, and they basically acted as hand models. So they were like moving pieces around, so like you could direct them. Oh, can you please pick up this? Or can you just move that there? They had like a little blue screen thing off to the side as well, so they could take like a card and put it under the blue screen, and it would sort of like come over the top of the play area camera. But backstage, as it were, the organization was flawless. Like they sent out all the emails and everything with like, okay, so we need you to jump into this Discord at a certain time. When you come onto that, we'll then make sure that you're okay. We'll get everybody. We'll get you all sorted. Then we'll send you off to a private room where you'll then be brought into. I mean, it looked like a sort of like a variant on the StreamYard tech that we're using. And people like, rooms were brought in. So, they just sort of like clicked on such and such, and and now we're joined by Michael, and it just went really, really smoothly. Our copy of Adventure Mart didn't make it in time. So I think it was it Saturday or Sunday I did the stream? I think it was Saturday.
It's all a blur, man.
Look at my screen. Let me look at my schedule.
You have a schedule. Yeah, look at your schedule. You wrote it out and everything.
Saturday. That was it. Saturday, 7:00 our time in the UK. I was. The thing didn't make it. So Saturday morning, I got an email off of Eric from BGG saying, "Hey, the copy's not going to arrive until Monday. What can we do?" And I just went, "I'll send you loads of pictures, and we can use a slideshow." I was like, "That'll work." But of course, I had the game here as well, so I could hold up cards to the camera and things like that. So that was all good. But yeah, it was cool. That was pretty nice. That was pretty good. Did you see any news, any announcements, any excitements?
When you say the word "see,"
okay, did you
what exactly
hear it? All right, because obviously your entire weekend was spent with your eyes closed.
No, but I hate to say most of my weekend was either demoing a game or just like trying to lay down and not move my eyes and listen to a lot of podcasts, which part of me is just like, it's so the opposite of what my normal Gen Con weekend is.
Yeah, it was very, very different. Well,
yeah.
Boo. Words. You also did a quick mention of the only thing that's still from outside, because they were not attending, was the announcements from Fantasy Flight Games, where they announced a whole bunch of stuff, but there was an absolute highlight where, okay, so they did like, I don't know, here's all the Lord of the Rings stuff, blah, blah, blah. Here's the Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff. Oh, and now here's a whole load of Marvel Champions stuff. That's fantastic. There's some really cool stuff coming on Marvel Champions, which is really nice. Because we like Marvel Champions.
I do.
We are fans. But the end of it was like goofy as heck, because the main host, they sort of like signed off and they went, "Yeah, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you all again soon." And they did the thing where the camera kept going, and like, so he just stood up. So it was like this. It was like, da, 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 da. All right, so yeah, that went really, really well. That was great, fantastic. Like, he goes, "Oh man, but I wish we could have talked about the big thing." And they go, yeah, man, well, it's such as life. We can't always talk about everything. We can't cover everything. He goes, yeah, but it's really nice. And then he sort of like leans across like this and drags in like this 12 by 12 by 12 inch cube that's labeled up Descent 3rd edition.
Ooh. Okay.
And I look at it. It looks fantastic. It looks really, really good. And then like 5 seconds of silence, and someone from behind the camera just screams, "The camera's still live! The camera's still live!" And he then sort of like does this. So he's this, and he sort of like goes, and then the camera cuts out, and it was like, all right, that was fun. Good work, y'all.
That was good. That was good. I like it because it's like an after credit scene in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, it was cool. And then loads of people were super excited because it was Descent 3rd edition, and that was good times. It was fun. Tell us the kazoo story.
Okay, so the kazoo story is pretty much sitting down. I'm helping these players play through a game, and there's this one guy he not only grasps the concept, he's now grasped like the fact that he can have cards starting to play off other cards. And I'm just like, wow, this guy's gonna murder everyone on this board, essentially. This is what's gonna happen. And so he's being very thorough and methodical. And I'm just, listening as he goes, and he's like, all right, I'm going to use my, divination station in order to do this, but before I do that, I'll use the bonds. And then all of a sudden he stops and goes, no. And we're just sitting there, and I'm like, are you okay? And before he can answer, you just hear this like kazoo noise. And he goes, my son has a kazoo. And then for like the next solid minute, it's just this kazoo going off. And you can tell he's like trying to play the game and sort of trying to get the kazoo back. And he's like, come here and give me the kazoo. And the kid goes, no, you're going to take it. And he's like, that's true. And then the kid just goes, no! And it's like, ooh! And then he must have run out of the room. That's like my favorite, like person's background life coming in, which actually like would happen a few times. Like somebody's spouse would come to talk to them, or you'd hear somebody's cat. So then you got to ask questions like, you have a cat? Oh, it sounds lovely, because it's Discord, so you can't see anyone. Which is kind of fun in a weird way, because you don't get that with Gen Con. Like, you don't look at someone and go, I can hear your cat shouting from home.
I mean, I think that's that is an unintended positive of, we're all stuck on lockdown, but this, like, it's a funny thing that we have when demoing things from home. Like, so Dee Dee, my cat, our cat, the cat who lives in our house, one of the two cats that lives in our house, kept on sort of like coming in, like in here, really annoyed. People on stream have seen Dee Dee before. She's a black and white one. And she would just sort of like sit here at the side of me, just shouting, like meowing at me. And people are like going, whose cat is meowing us? I'm really sorry, it's mine. They go, what do they want? It's just sort of like ham, attention, a combination of the two. But,
it's probably ham.
Probably it's generally ham, to be honest, is what you want. But yeah, it was cool. What do you want to see from some virtual conventions in the future? Like, what do you think would make it good? Like good. I was going to say gooder. That's not a word. Better.
Yeah, gooder.
Gooder.
Make it gooder. That's a tough question. So, obviously, having some kind of a vocal chat program like Discord works. However, you could not have hundreds of thousands of people all in the same chat channel. It just would break down.
What is the limit on Discord? How many people can fit in a channel in an audio?
In an audio?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Ooh, Gouda cheese. Yes. Sorry.
What are you talking about Gouda for, Yoss? Also, hello, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie. Miss you. Earlier, Duffy said hi, and I didn't say hi back. So hi. But anywho, to make it better, It was kind of like what Ken was saying. It's like if there's just, and I don't even know how you would attain it. It's like some way to centralize everything more. And I don't know how you do it. I feel like you almost need like dedicated, just like chill channels or like dedicated chat channels to just being able to hang out and be like, all right, cool. Or like this is like the painting channel. Or maybe if you're doing Gen Con, I know I'm completely rambling here, but like you could stream, I don't know, painting competitions for models or.
And they did run a painting competition over the weekend, but not like streamed. It was just sort of like, hey, paint a thing, send in pictures, and we'll judge them. I think more interactivity would be cool.
I think that's essentially what my entire word blah just now was, is just I want something more to interact with. Having said that, as the person who was like, okay, I can't see, so maybe I just missed it. I don't know.
I mean, okay, so if you were healthy and well and you had the time, like the things that would have made your Gen Con better, I think, yeah, like you said, it would have been, I think, more. I think, yeah, guidance is probably the best way to say it. Like, I would have loved to have them have the channels, but the channels essentially, rather than moderators, yes, we still need moderators and stuff. Like dedicated hosts almost, and they don't need to be, the big celebrities in industry X or whatever, but just sort of, people who are confident, people who are able to talk, people who are able to, interact with others, set them at their ease, whatever. I am not saying that it should be people like you and I. We would be good at it, admittedly, but it's like, no,
quality control has to start somewhere, Michael.
We'd be freaking amazing. But no, I think having people like pop up with discussion topics, or even just things like, hey, what are folks playing? Hey, tell me about that, whatever. And I think having more of an audio visual element as well, rather than it just being sort of like a stream of text going by. I did not see anybody using any sort of audio or video in Discord, in the Gen Con Discord, which I'm assuming is down to the fact that it would probably be chaos.
It probably would be a certain level of chaos. Only because I put them on in the background all the time, but I'll use these like YouTube live channels, and occasionally I like listening to the Fallout 4 ones, and they'll have the DJ that talks over them. I almost wonder if you could do a similar format with streaming at like a Gen Con event, where you just could probably play music of some kind in between and just like flash pictures, like, look at this cool game, look at this cool other thing, and then just like essentially schedule mini shows throughout the entire thing, and maybe have like a host. That's something I miss from Gen Con, is attention Gen Con attendees.
Yeah, every like between 15 and 25 minutes there's just a random announcement. Actually,
that would be perfect. Actually, in my mind, that would have kind of made it if you were just like listening to this radio station. It's like, attention Gen Con
attendees.
Yeah. The so-and-so exhibit will be starting in like 5.
So there's those folks, Sirenscape, who do they do like the audio backgrounds for like your tabletop role-playing games, stuff like that. They did do one for Gen Con. I didn't listen to it, but it says there's some surprises on it. I'm hoping that those surprises were the attention Gen Con attendees, like disembodied voice saying that, like, a dog had been lost or something, or there was
fantastic.
the child painting competition was starting in 17 minutes, that kind of thing.
I want that. There's a part of me that's like, I would love to just have recordings of that guy yelling. It's so integrated into my Gen Con experience that it's like, it's disheartening to not hear him yelling random announcements.
Yeah, that's true. Ken has returned with the dealer hall is now closed.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody applauds, and it's just sort of like, okay, so we're going to wrap up in a couple of minutes. A little bit of a short show today because, we're tired, and Gen Con weekend was busy for us. It was,
I sleep now.
I sleep now. It's like I've not been sleeping super well over the past few weeks, but like Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night, I was like gone. It was lovely. It was like, oh, right, okay, I'm good for this. One thing I did not miss is breaking down a booth at the end of a Sunday. That was super nice.
I mean, so this is going to sound sick. That depends. Is it a complicated booth that I set up, or a Hubs game booth that we set up? Because I like breaking down Hub Games booths. They're nice. They're very simple.
Well, yeah, generally because we're done in like a couple of hours at the very most.
Yes, that's why I like it.
We've worked for places where it's like
hours,
11 o'clock at night, getting out.
Midnight. None of the restaurants are open. It's rough.
Yeah, and we're all tired.
But then there's like that weird sense of like we survived, and not only did we survive this, we're more badass than everyone else because we survived till now. And you're like, yeah. But maybe I'm just a masochist. I don't know.
Well, we'll be doing it all again for UK Games Expo in a couple of weeks' time, the Virtually Expo, where we can organize it so we have to get up at 6:30 in the morning and then queue for the shower. We will make coffee and leave it in the pot for the longest time, and then we'll have to like pay £3.50 for a coffee that doesn't taste very good. We'll just leave a jar next to the kettle.
What are you talking?
I'm trying to emulate the convention food and drink, the convention hotel food and drink experience.
Your convention hotel food and drink experience must be very different from mine. I took the shower the night before, so I didn't have to deal with that fight in the morning. And then I must get down earlier than you because my coffee hasn't been sitting in a pot for several hours.
We can disappear for 90 minutes and come back having eaten a bag of Fritos with some chili poured into it.
Ah, yes. Now that's the true convention experience. Oh God, I'll never forget PAX Unplugged. Yeah, it was PAX Unplugged. It was like the first convention I ever went to, and I went to go get food, and someone asked me like, "Oh, do you want like the soup of the day special for the convention?" And I said yes.
Fool.
Yeah, no, it was just mac and cheese with breaded chicken that had been deep fried with like more cheese in the center, just in a bucket, and like the lady handed it to me. I'm like, this isn't soup. Did I order the wrong thing? And she's like, no. She's like, no, convention soup. She went nerd soup. It's just like, oh.
The only soup on earth that is actually solid that you need a knife and fork for.
Yeah. I just remember finding a place sitting down on the floor being like, this isn't what I wanted.
This isn't soup.
This is what I miss from my convention experiences. Having to tear down a booth and getting food that's not food.
And solid soup, yeah.
And solid soup.
That's how it goes. Oh, you get the Markiplier fool.
Yeah, pretty much. The second I was like, I'll have that soup of the day. Or soup of the convention. That seems fantastic.
Soup of the convention. It just sounds suspicious at the best of times.
Yeah, and I don't know why that didn't trigger in my mind before then. I just went into that like, oh boy, it's gonna be good.
Hey, what did you talk about on your live stream about board games companies and stuff? Soup for like 15-20 minutes. It was grand. It was fine. All right.
Rory's never going to leave us alone again.
It's like this is what happens when Dad goes away, and it's like, oh well, sad face. At least he keeps under vague control. Oh yeah, solid soup, and when you eat it, you have to lay down for an hour. That is true.
That is so true. Oh my God, it's so weird.
Demo table. But we'll be back next week. What our topic will be, I have no clue, but we'll come up with something between now and then. Thank you very much to Ken from Geekcraft for joining us earlier to sort of like tell us about his sort of like a little bit of the universe of Gen Con. Erin, thank you for coming on and just chatting away Like
No problem.
And yeah, thank you all indeed as well for watching. As ever, we are here every Wednesday, 7 o'clock UK time, 2 o'clock the East Coast in the States. And yeah, we'll see you again for the next one then. Now, yet again, we will wave until the stream ends.
Wait, but you
Farewell.
have to say, and now the stream ends, but in the Gen Con voice.
All right, okay. Attention, Hub Games Team Talk viewers. The stream is now closed. See you next time.